The Lord be with you and with your spirit. This is a reading from the Gospel of Mark. Glory to you, O Lord. One evening, while Jesus and his disciples were near the lake, he said to them, "Let's go now to the other side." While they were crossing the lake, a bad storm came up, and a strong wind and crashed the waves over the side of the boat, and the boat was nearly filled with water. Jesus was asleep on a pillow in the back of the boat. The disciples woke him up and said, "Don't you care? We're going to drown." Jesus got up and he commanded the wind and the waves to stop, saying, "Be quiet, be still." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Why are you afraid? Don't you believe in me?" The disciples were shocked and amazed at what they had just seen Jesus do. They kept asking each other, "Who is this man? Even the wind and the water obey him." This is the good news of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, whoa, it's so dark. Miss Jen, where are you? Oh, oh no. Miss Jen.
Chestnut! Chestnut, what's wrong?
I was all by myself in thunder and lightning, and I couldn't find you.
Oh, Chestnut.
I'm so
Oh,
scared.
don't be afraid now. I'm here, Chestnut. Do you remember the story that I read to you last night about Jesus and his friends? And they were in a boat, and a storm came, and the boat was rocking, and the waves were crashing, and the disciples were scared just like you were scared. And they were looking for Jesus, and they looked, and they found him, and he was asleep. And they woke him up and said, Jesus, help us. We're so scared. The boat is going to sink." And Jesus said, "Why are you afraid?" You know what? I was thinking about that because sometimes I get scared of lightning too. And sometimes, even though I'm a grown-up, I get scared of the dark, and I'm worried that there's something in the dark that might get me. And so when I'm scared, I was sort of thinking, that's kind of like when a storm comes and I get so scared and I'm shaking. And then I have to remember to do what the disciples did, is they looked for Jesus. And Jesus says, "Don't be afraid." That's the lesson I want you to think about this week, is that when the storms in your life come, whether it's because you're worried about a friend being angry with you, or you're afraid you're going to get left somewhere when your family goes out and they go off one direction and all of a sudden you can't find them, all those things that may scare you and may worry you, they're like storms in our lives. So when you get stuck in a storm, I want you to think about looking for Jesus. And Jesus tells us not to be afraid. Jesus always takes care of us. In the Bible, he said to the wind and the waves, "Be quiet and be still." That's how powerful God is, that even the wind and the waves obey him. So when we are scared because of the storms in our life, God is powerful enough to say, "Don't be afraid." Don't be afraid this week, boys and girls, and I'll see you really soon.